Awesome. We all ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. We are live. Hello and welcome to Talk Chef. I am one of your hosts, Reika.
I'm your other host, Jordan.
And today we have a very special guest. It is none other than Top Chef chef testant Katsuji Tanabe. Hello.
Hi, guys.
We are truly
Excited.
so pumped to have you. You've been a favorite on the show. You were on it a few times and you were great both seasons.
I was a fan favorite the first season, and I was the most hated on the third season. So I went from the most loved to the most hated.
And how do you feel about that personal growth you had?
I was always kind of an asshole, so I was very surprised that I came out like as the fan favorite on the first season. I think the editing made me look very nice, but then the third season there was just no filters. They show me the way I am sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that accurate?
No, just whenever I'm on TV and cooking for millions of people and getting in fights. But yeah, no, it's a very unique experience. Definitely, it's nothing like what you see on real life. You know, being on Top Chef, it's like you're in a bubble, and everything that it's happening, it's so surreal and so weird. So nothing is 100% true.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I don't feel like I'd thrive on a reality competition show.
But the pressure, it's awful. You know, you have no personal space. You don't sleep. You're fighting against the best chefs at that moment. You know, you start getting self-conscious about your dishes. No, it's awful. I don't recommend people to do Top Chef. I said, if you want to be sane and you want to be happy, do not do Top Chef.
And you know what? This is coming from someone who's done it multiple times.
Yeah.
I've done it 3 times.
Oh my God.
Really wild.
Yeah, but you know, the power of TV, you know, it changes your life. It literally changes your life.
Yeah.
Have you gotten a lot more publicity and folks eating at your place?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, when you're in cities like Chicago, New York, you go to restaurants and food, drinks, they just show up. You know, it is very nice. But I'm the exception to the rule. 90% of the chefs that are on the show, you don't remember them. It's the few ones that you remember. You know, most of the times people don't remember who was the winner, but they remember the second place or the third place or the fifth place, but they don't remember the winner.
Sure.
They don't tend to be as fun as the losers.
Yeah, sure.
That's very true.
Losers, we are way more fun.
Yeah.
That's very true. And one thing I want to say, it is really interesting, and I've never thought about it until you were bringing it up just now, but the idea of like having no personal space, and it's like, obviously I know that, but it seems like such a huge manipulation tactic that y'all sleep in bunk beds, because you're like in a multi-million-dollar mansion. And I think at first, my brain was just like, oh, for space. But I'm like, I've seen the views of some of those places y'all stay in. Why are y'all sleeping in tiny twin bunk beds?
Crazy.
It's just to get in your head.
It's all absolutely. It's all to get in your head. It's mental warfare from the producers, and then they wake you super early, like at 5 a.m. But then you don't shoot until like 10 a.m. So you're awake at 5 a.m. and then they will come with the cameras and like they will wake you up. So I realized if I sleep naked, they will not shoot me in the morning. I will be the last person on camera, because they're like, come on, Katsuji, you know you're not supposed to sleep naked. I was like, I don't know.
Okay, that is advice for everyone. If you don't want to film you in the morning, just sleep naked. They can't film
exactly.
you.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. Incredible little tip.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I will put a lot of cologne every day. A lot of cologne. So then all my Top Chef peers will be like, why you put so much cologne? It's gonna affect our. I'm used to wear cologne every day when I work, but most of chefs will not wear cologne because they say it kind of messes your palate. I think that's a little bullshit. But I will put the cologne a lot in the morning just to like mess up with them in the like right away in the morning. Start doing some guerrilla warfare.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay. This is incredible. So you've said already before we hopped on that you're a super fan of Top Chef.
Absolutely. I remember watching the show and I was like, one day I will be there. One day. It was literally my American dream. I applied to be on the show 12 years in a row, and 11 times they say to me, no, 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 no. So when I hear people are like, oh, I applied for Top Chef last year, they didn't call me. I was like, well, apply next year. Oh no, fuck them. They miss me. It's like, no, I applied 11 times in a row. 11 years. I went with my little resume. I'm like, well, guys, here's my resume. Hi, I'm Katsuji. I would like to get, yeah. I did that 11 years in a row.
That is incredible. And honestly, so deeply relatable. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Wait, I have to know. I'm sorry. I have one more question, Reika, before we get into kind of the meat of the episode. I do want to know, Katsuji, since you're a mega fan, do you have a favorite season or a favorite contestant outside of yourself that's been on the show?
For me, it was Fabio. I always love Fabio. You know, the accent and the Italian. And then it happens that Fabio and I now are really good friends. We share. He has a restaurant and I have a restaurant in Chicago. We share the same building. We're good friends. We talk. His season was amazing. And then when he did the All Stars, you know, it was just a great feeling. Knowing of, especially now that I know him, that I know that he came from nothing. He literally had no money, no nothing, and he left Italy to just try to be the best chef in America, just like me.
That's awesome.
So beautiful. Yeah, we love Fabio. We're really excited to get to his season.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, couple little orders of business. As you guys know, Talk Chef is a charity show. Every week we pick a food-based charity to donate to, and this week is no different. So this week's charity is the Los Angeles Food Bank.
Yeah.
Yes.
One quick thing I want to say is that right now, so normally you donate the money, great. Right now they do an end of year match. So your donation is being matched, whatever we raise, which is incredible. So normally $75 would provide 300 meals for people. It now is providing 600 meals for people, which is incredible. So I think if we can get to $75 in this episode, that's like if we get to at least $75, get 600 meals for people in Los Angeles, who, as everyone knows, like Reika and I are both in Los Angeles right now, and COVID is so bad. Reika and I both volunteer with another organization that provides food for people who are food insecure or homeless in Los Angeles, and the need is so high. Homelessness is not getting better in Los Angeles right now. It is getting worse. So let's raise as much money as possible for the LA Food Bank.
Let's do it. And as usual, you guys know the deal with how to donate. Jordan is accepting these donations into her Venmo for the next 24 hours. And then we will post the receipt of everything you guys have chipped in. Her Venmo handle is at JORDANMYR1CK. That handle is in the chat. It's in the description of the YouTube video. It'll be all over the place, and we'll mention it a couple times throughout the show.
Yes, and I have to say, we've already gotten 3 donations.
Okay. So
that's our show. We've already gotten 3 donations.
Our average right now is crushing it because this show has been on for 10 minutes. Whoa. Okay. So that's our first order of business. Our second order of business, Katsuji, we didn't tell you, but just like every episode of Top Chef, every episode of Talk Chef has a quick fire. And it is the fastest quick fire. You won't have to use anything in your kitchen. It is the fastest quick fire in Top Chef history. It is 45 seconds. And we will ask you 10 questions. They're just like food preferences, just opinions you have about food. And the prize is a pretty big deal. The prize is a deed to their Terlato wine vineyard. Ooh, are you frozen? Can we see? Is he? Katsuji, can you hear us?
Oh my God. He's
Oh my
not
God.
about the wine.
Oh, yes. Now I can hear you, but you're a little frozen.
Okay.
There we go.
Now you're good. Oh.
Let me try a different connection.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
better.
better.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Every time we say it's good,
Every time we say it's good, it gets bad. The internet is hell.
the internet is afraid for him. The internet doesn't want him to do a quick fire.
I think I would do really well in a quick fire. Can I just say that? I think I wouldn't do well on Top Chef as a whole, but I do think I would do well in a quick fire because I am strong. My improvisational skills are strong.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see you guys. I can hear you. I don't know, for some reason my
Okay.
internet was acting weird.
Yeah, we can see you. Perfect. Okay, so you have 10 questions in 45 seconds. These are all just like food preference questions, low pressure stuff, but you only have 45 seconds to do it.
So also very
Okay.
high pressure in a way.
It's
Kind
very
of
high pressure in that way. And the prize is a deed to the Terlato Wine Vineyard, the only wine Top Chef ever seems to have, where
Yeah, that's true.
the smallest bottle is 7,000 gallons. And you will also win a suite of broken Kenmore appliances, just like what's in the Top Chef kitchens.
They never
Are you ready, Katsuji?
I am ready.
Okay, your time will start from when I finish question 1.
Okay.
Okay, 1. Favorite appetizer to eat?
Queso fundido,
Okay, favorite appetizer to cook?
ceviche.
Did Michael do any cooking with that ice cream sandwich?
Michael? Who's Michael?
On the show.
Oh, on the show. I don't know.
Heavy cream in a cocktail? Yes or no?
Yeah, sometimes, especially on an Irish car bomb.
Skin on bell peppers? Yes or no?
No skin on bell peppers.
How many appetizers would you cook in 4 hours?
17.
Is strawberry an appetizer?
If you make it into a salsa, yes.
Should people with immunity put their dick away?
No, they don't.
Okay, all right. We didn't quite complete the quick fire, but
Close.
very close. A good showing.
And
Sorry.
I was gonna say, for the hell of it, I want to ask you our next question, which was, would you ever send yourself home?
Absolutely no. No. I don't get it. Why would people do that? It's just like, you try so hard to be on the show. Why would you sabotage yourself? Send me home on the. Yeah, no, absolutely no. That's just so sad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think some people too find it noble, or like they're like, it looks better to send yourself home rather than be sent home. But I'm like, drag my dead body out of this building. Like, I do not care. Like, yeah, what is I have, there's one exception.
What I was gonna say,
one exception in the whole show.
If I was in the season 11
New Orleans,
4 episodes from the finale in the France versus Spain challenge, if I was in that challenge, I would send myself home.
Yes, because
that episode we're talking about, Katsuji, with the corn silk bird's nest with Dominique Crenn.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was awful.
Yes, and Nick, everyone was like, Nick, we do not want to do this. It sounds really gross. And he was like, no, I have immunity, but we're doing it. And then they straight up tell him, they're like, oh, the only reason why you're in the bottom is because your stuff was gross. And then Stephanie goes home.
I can tell you something. I'm the most humble chef testan, no one gets to the point of my humbleness. I'm the most humble Top Chef ever. And I will never send myself home. Never. That's just, there's like 3 other Top Chefs that can be really humble, but they don't get to my level of humbleness. So no, number 1 rule: you don't sell yourself home.
Well, also it's part of the game, right? Like, there are some challenges that are going to cater to your strengths, and there are some that are not, and that's ultimately, up to the producers and stuff. So.
Same thing with immunity. It's like, do you feel guilty for having immunity? It's like, I think that what the thing is that ultimately when it comes down to it, it is just a competition. And some people act like, oh, I have to like do the right thing.
Yes, as if it's a real restaurant.
Yeah, it's like, this isn't really, it's just like, it's a cooking competition. So
it's not real life. It's not real life. So I'm saying, 6 million people are gonna hate you, but whatever. What are they gonna do? Nothing.
That's true.
I'm still gonna be on the next episode. So 1 more episode.
Sure.
Yeah. And then obviously when you have immunity, you take as many risks as you can.
Yeah.
Right. Which
You
is
know?
not
Yeah.
necessarily how some people view immunity. Some people view it as like, well, I'm gonna get my ideas across. I'm gonna take the big risks. Like if you have immunity in a group challenge, you gotta shut the hell up.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And they don't that is like the one of the top things people on the show don't realize. Okay, great. So let's dive into this episode. We start with our little quick fire, which was sponsored by Bailey's very clearly. And it is to create a Bailey's cocktail and a small snack to accompany it. Now, Katsuji, I am not a chef, but I do eat a lot. Jordan and I are big food people. Is a Bailey's cocktail something you would serve at an appetizer course? Or is that simply too heavy?
I think it's too heavy, too sweet for an appetizer.
I agree.
But at the same time, she did mention, the mixologist, she did mention, I was hoping someone will make a milkshake and a burger. And I was like, wow, that's just genius. And it was, a milkshake could be a good appetizer.
To me, treating it like an entree, like the milkshake burger thing was the thing that made the most sense.
Yeah.
Like, those are two natural pairings anyway. Okay, cool. So also I wanted to point out that this was in the morning because Padma said, "Good morning, chefs." And I was like, ooh, she's drinking a bunch of Bailey's cocktails at like 10 in the morning.
Yes. And also that being said, they did, whoever dressed the mixologist, they dressed her as if she was doing the challenge and then immediately going to a nightclub.
Yeah.
What is this styling? It felt very bizarre. The whole challenge totally felt bizarre to me.
That was her own fault. The guest judge, they don't dress you. You bring your own clothes.
Wow.
This is huge intel for the top chef.
Knowledge.
Remember, she's thinking they're gonna air the show at night, even though they say good morning. So, you know, she's wearing for the nightgown.
That's
okay.
So funny. She comes in like full rave gear.
I mean, truly, she was like really like done up, which I thought, I'm like, good for you. But at the same time, I was like, it does look like you are ready to party. And then everyone's like, here's French toast. Also, Bailey's is Bailey's good? I don't know if I've had it, but in my mind, it's disgusting.
It's good.
It is good.
Here's what I'll say, Jordan. I am a sucker for like a sweet. Do you have a bottle of it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's sponsored.
What flavor? Woo!
Okay, now we're going.
Original.
What's it taste like?
It tastes like very mild whiskey with like condensed milk and vanilla.
Yeah, it's good, Jordan. I know that Jordan isn't a big drinker to begin with, but it really does taste like a milkshake, kind of like a milkshake.
It's like a milkshake. Yeah, it is really good as a milkshake.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I gotta try.
The first time I ever got drunk was off of 2.5 mudslides, and
that's. Oh
you
have to go to the hospital the next day.
Jordan, it was horrible. It was in a Pig and Whistle in Midtown New York.
For me, for many years, my drink of choice was the Irish car bomb, and I would leave work in LA, stop by an Irish pub, and then just chug an Irish car bomb, and then just have a shitty beer on the side. But for many years, that was my drink of choice, an Irish car bomb.
That sounds like a recipe for diarrhea.
Well, because you want to, how do you say when you drink to unwind? I wanted to unwind the fastest possible. So if I drink a beer, it's going to take some time. But if I drink a beer with a shot of whiskey, with a shot of Baileys, and then it turns into cheese in my stomach, hey, you're up to speed. Because the whiskey and Baileys will actually make the Baileys curl and turn into little pieces of cheese.
That's actually nice. And see, then you're working. You're still being a chef at the same time that you're unwinding.
Yeah, you're still creating.
And then the next day, since you are going to be hungover with diarrhea, you actually lose weight. So, you know, it's a good diet.
That's actually, okay, everyone take note. We are very body positive here, but if you want to go on the Katsuji diet, take an Irish car bomb, create cheese in your stomach, and then diarrhea it out the next morning.
Yeah. You have to be lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you are like me, half Asian, you get the Asian glow, so you get super red. So then now you have makeup for free.
What? a whole lifestyle. You
Very,
can be an
yeah.
influencer.
You got to start a Kourtney Kardashian style lifestyle blog.
You know it.
I love it.
Incredible. All right. So we usually go through what everyone makes and give a thumbs up or thumbs down of like, is it like, and the criteria can be whatever you want, but really it's like, is this a good Top Chef meal? Like maybe someone made freaking a PB&J sandwich and it tastes great, but is that a Top Chef meal?
You know?
Well, you have to remember, back on those seasons, season 1, season 2, the level of cooking was so different
It was.
than
Yeah.
than season 14, 16, 16. You know, the episode before the one that we watched, the winner made a tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich.
Yes.
What's wrong with that? And then I think one of the other episodes is that you have to create an ice cream flavor for kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back in the day, those challenges were quite simple because it was ahead of its time. So, you know, and then with the music and the editing, they make it sound like dun 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 dun, Baileys and an appetizer. What can you do? And they're like, really? Like now we will be laughing. I have a friend, Sylvia Barban from Top Chef Charleston. She and I were like, we live together in New York. We will watch Top Chef every night after work, and we will watch 2-3 episodes, and we will be like, not making fun, but like, wow, I wish we would have got those challenges because they were so easy, you know. But now all the challenges are like super extremes.
Oh, we talk about this all the time on the show. Like in season 1, episode like 2, it's like cook with a bizarre ingredient and they take the cloche off and it's octopus. And we're like,
Yeah.
So,
I guess in 2006, maybe that wasn't as in vogue in America, but I'm like, people have been cooking with octopus everywhere.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so you and Sylvia from Top Chef Charleston lived together at one point.
So
Yes,
cool.
Wow, that's so fun.
in Brooklyn, New York. When I was opening my first New York restaurant, I asked her if I could stay with her, and she and I slept together, but not together. You know.
Okay.
No, we we were just, you know, she allowed me to stay in her house, and we will watch Top Chef together. And I remember because we were like, she will have the biggest crush on Sam, and I was like, oh, okay. Now you're competing against Sam, so it was pretty cool for a lot of us, including, like I said, Sylvia and myself. For when we were on Top Chef, it was like a dream come true, and we were like hanging out with people that we watch on the show. Like, wow, you know, we're actually competing against Brooke, and I'm like, or now I'm going against like John Tizar or Sam Talbot. You know, they were like superheroes for us.
That's awesome. Because wasn't that a thing that like Sylvia came to America with the hopes of getting on Top Chef?
Yes.
Yeah, she and me came with both. Me and her, we did the same.
Yeah, that's so cool.
She got the birthday.
I was just about to say she got the birthday
Oh
app.
yeah, no, God,
Terrible.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna run through these quick fire dishes and we'll give like a quick thumbs up, thumbs down of just if it sounds good. So Michael made a caramel Bailey's Bushmills Guinness foam candied rimmed cocktail, and then his accompaniment was a cherry ice cream cookie. This sounds like too much sugar to me, and also I guess for me, I'm like, did he cook that ice cream sandwich? It looked like pre-prepared cookies and ice cream. I didn't see him make ice cream.
I didn't see him making ice cream either. I don't think he made ice cream, but sometimes like he's one of those guys, like such an underdog because he was not a chef. He was just a TGI cook Friday. He was a cook at TGI Fridays. So sometimes he's, I don't want to say dumbness, but you know, his innocence will actually allow him to create. And so I think on this episode of making an ice cream sandwich and an overly sweet, kind of disgusting martini at 7 a.m, it actually works. It worked.
Yeah, I buy it.
Yeah.
Cliff made a cocktail that was original Bailey's, rum, vodka, and vanilla bean, and his dish was grilled beef, creme fraiche fondue, nutmeg, and chocolate. I was like, it lost me right at the end. The nutmeg and chocolate really threw me off.
It's such a tough one because, you know, it's something savory with something super sweet. And now that I'm tasting it, it's like it's very difficult to pair this thing with something.
Here's something with it.
Yeah.
Sam made Bailey's hot chocolate with Godiva liqueur and heavy cream, and then eggnog French toast with apple, rosemary, and onions.
This was the one cocktail. All these cocktails sounded kind of gross to me. I love dairy and I like alcohol, but the concept of putting them together, I think, just feels wrong to me. And I know that's my flaw and not the flaw of dairy and alcohol. But this is the one cocktail where I was like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Marcel made Scotch coffee with Bailey's and milk foam, and then pancetta potato and coffee grinds with a vanilla vapor.
No.
I don't know. I the pancetta and potato, but then I'm like, coffee grinds and vanilla like overwhelmed. Like
think about it. Coffee, vanilla, potato, bacon. It's
breakfast.
everything that you can have at breakfast.
Yeah.
So it actually makes sense. As much as I dislike Marcel, I have to give him credit.
Yeah. Okay.
Katsuji
converted me.
I'll turn it around because I do like a little maple syrup on a crispy potato.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Elon made Bailey's and egg white foamed with Guinness topped with Scotch. What the hell did I even write? Bailey's and egg white foam, Guinness Scotch cocktail.
Okay.
And then his dish was horseradish with beets on matzah with a pan fried egg yolk. Ooh,
Oh God, no.
why?
The horseradish and Bailey's, that's a tough one. Horseradish and dairy, I don't think it's really hard to combine horseradish and dairy.
Yes.
Have you ever had cheese and horseradish?
Have I had that? No.
Neither do I. And now I'm gonna grab a piece of cheese and put horseradish, but I don't think horseradish and cheese goes together.
What about a Philadelphia roll? What about a Philadelphia roll that has like the cream cheese or something? Doesn't it have like?
And then wasabi.
Oh, good point. Yes, wasabi in America, it's made out of horseradish.
It is.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you got me that one. Yeah, it works.
Hey, I freaking got you.
Yeah.
Yes. Like it reminds me of almost like a hard cheese and a sharp mustard. Like
That's
similar to me. That's my weird snack. I'll make a little sandwich that's just a slice of cheddar cheese and then a bunch of mustard. That's my little, for a disgusting private moment. I'll have it.
For me, I'm just anything with beets in it, I will eat the shit out of. So I don't. He could put beets on a toilet and I'll eat it. Okay, the Mia made mint chocolate Baileys with Crown Royal and orange juice, and grilled mango and brie on a Danish apple crisp. I was like, get that orange. Why the hell did you put orange?
Mint and orange?
Mint and I was like, two of the three. You can do mint and chocolate. You can do mint and orange. You could do chocolate and orange. I don't think you can do all three.
But remember, the moment you put orange juice in Bailey's, it curls. It curls. It turns into cheese. Is this the one that she goes and she's like,
no,
I would like to taste it, but it has that cheesy texture on top?
That's the next one, which is
Yes.
Betty made Parrot Bay rum with heavy cream, caramel Baileys, and cinnamon and lime juice. Already I'm out. And then the dish was scallop marinated in Parrot Bay. The cocktail like separated. It looked like water, and then it was like just the fat on top. It reminded me of like when you cook garbanzo beans and then like the aquafaba like fluffs to the top or whatever. It was.
Wait, Parrot Bay is an alcohol, right?
Yeah.
It's rum.
Rum, right?
Rum and Bailey's with dairy.
And then get a little seafood in there for good measure. No, that's a thumbs down.
Yeah, no, it was so bad.
Oh, I looked at when she took the spoon. Oh my God.
No, it was bad.
To make your own yogurt. Okay. And then Elia made a cappuccino with caramel Baileys and ginger, and then a petit four of chocolate and nuts that looked like melted.
Sounds good.
That sounds good.
On the bottom was Nia and Betty, who both kind of had like curdled drinks. Top was Cliff, Sam, and Michael. Winner was Cliff, so he gets immunity.
Wow, a dish that we did not
think sounded good. The nutmeg and the chocolate on the grilled beef threw me.
Yeah.
Elimination challenge is to cater a cocktail party for 200 guests at a red carpet event in 4 hours. They are being graded on 4 things we never hear about again in the episode, which are taste, originality, leadership, and wow factor. What do we think of this challenge?
That challenge was perfectly made for LA. I love it, the fact that they're going to be with the, living the LA lifestyle.
Yeah.
And you can tell the people that actually does that for living, that all I noticed that on the orange team, the team with Sam.
Yes, Sam, Alon, Betty, and Marcel.
They were more of like big city mentality. And then the ones on the black team, they were more of a small town mentality. And, it affects how that outcome, it really affects the outcome of the challenge.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's totally true. I think they were like, oh, we'll serve lobster and that will be enough. And I'm like, these people are rich. These people are like executives at Warner Brothers. They eat lobster on their commute home, they don't care.
Yes.
And I just think having to wait or like look at an empty table is the worst thing they could have possibly done.
Yes. I do think so Katsuji, you said you would have made 17 dishes.
I would have made like 10 dishes at least.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. 4 did strike. So for those who didn't see the episode, Elia, Cliff, Michael, and Mia, I believe the black team, decided to make 4 dishes, which does sound pretty low for an event that has 200 people and is like a kind of cocktail party situation where like you want a variety of stuff. Whereas Sam's team, Marcel, Sam, Alon, and Betty, we're going to make 13 dishes. So this is already a big difference between the 2 teams. Betty is a caterer and Mia is a caterer. So each team has a caterer on their side. On Mia's team, they kind of didn't listen to anything she had to say about catering. And on Betty's team, it seemed like everybody was sort of listening to each other and it wasn't really an issue. Yeah, this challenge was like fine. Everyone knows I hate the drama of season 2. Season 2's got too many like big personalities that are like fighting for attention.
Yeah, you know what I'll say? I do think that there was a big turnaround for Betty and Marcel in this episode, because in the last episodes, the 2 of them have been like at each other's throats in a way that is like just insufferable and like not enjoyable to watch for me. And this episode, I was like, okay, they finally calmed down, which was nice.
Yes, I agree.
And by the way, all that drama, it's natural. It's not created. It's not created by the producers. They don't push you. It's just sometimes you just don't like people and you just don't get along. And like I know Marcel personally. He's a good friend of mine, and sometimes he could be a little too much.
I buy that. I buy that. It's just like, yeah, you get these people are not put together because they work well together. They're random people from across the country with totally different styles of cooking.
I also think that, once again, not to backtrack to the bunk beds, but it's like people are coming from all over the country. So people are on all different sleep schedules, depending on where you're going. And then especially as the season moves on and you travel to different locations, I think bad sleep can really mess you up. And like for some people, it can make you really cranky. Yeah. I think that contributes so much.
And I snore very loud.
Oh no.
So on my first season, on my first season, we slept Doggy, Melissa, and Gregory and myself, and they will like throw pillows at me because like you're snoring too much, and I was like, whatever, But it is you have no personal space, but you just have to adapt right away. That's what makes the difference between the winners and the losers.
Yeah. Right. I have another question. Sorry, I'm crazy with questions tonight. Katsuji, who is your like closest friend, person, or your best friend or whatever from your season?
On my first season was Doggy. Doggy and I get along very well, and then it was Gregory.
Yes.
Yeah. Then on the on my third season, I got along very well with man, I forgot his name. The guy from Hawaii.
Wait, with
Sheldon?
Sheldon?
Sheldon. Sheldon and Sylvia were my good friends.
Aww.
Oh, we love Sheldon too.
Yeah.
Good.
Sheldon coming.
Yeah, you and Dougie's friendship was very charming on the show, so I'm happy to know that is true to real life.
Oh, it is true. Yeah, we still talk to each other, and we do some cooking together. But that's the most amazing thing about Top Chef: the friendships that you can actually acquire. You see like Hell's Kitchen, and they're like, "Oh, I don't come here to make any friends. I come here to kick your ass. Like fuck you." And on Top Chef, it was like, "Yeah, let's be friends." And literally, we all are friends. We have a chat on WhatsApp that every day we write to each other every day. Shirley was saying the other day that her longest relationship besides her husband is the chat that we have on WhatsApp with all the guys from Top Chef.
That is so sweet.
So cute. We're also huge Shirley fans. Wow.
Yeah.
We like to say the same thing about Talk Chef is that, you do the show, you're friends with Reka and I forever. So
yeah, exactly. Join our WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Incredible. Okay. So we get this little challenge rolling. The dishes were a little hard to keep track of. In the early seasons, they do a lot less time on like the beauty shots of the food. So they definitely didn't highlight like all of Sam's team's food. Yeah. But what I got, and you can thumbs up, thumbs down if what sounds good or not. Pickled mussels with an apple molasses mignonette.
Sure.
I think that sounds good. Sesame shrimp skewers. I think that sounds good, but I did register with what they said. That sounds like something you could get at like anywhere.
Yeah.
Roasted vegetable terrine with red pepper coulis.
Sure.
Oh, that's such an old school dish.
Right?
Coulis. No one makes coulis anymore.
Confit of pork shoulder with a tomato marmalade.
Sure.
Sounds good. All this sounds fine.
Yeah.
Chorizo and egg tostada.
I don't know.
Yeah, tell us. It looked a little dry to me, and it also looked like something you'd have to make a la minute so it doesn't get soggy and the chip stays really crispy. I don't know.
Maybe a taco, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm biased.
Yes. Beef tenderloin stuffed with blue cheese with watercress and a garlic sauce. I think that sounds
good.
Crab cakes with the spicy fire roasted corn pasilla relish.
That's such an old school dish too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if the same person made these. Mushroom tarts with no description. That sounds fine.
Why not?
Yeah.
Cinnamon croissant bread pudding with a white and dark chocolate and almond cream.
Yeah, that's okay.
That sounded great. That's just like a bunch of good shit. Okay, so then hilariously, the other team made so much less food. It was pan-seared scallops with Belgian endive and a ginger grapefruit marmalade.
Good.
Strawberry with rosemary mascarpone and pancetta brunoise.
Sure.
I don't know. The strawberries have to be very sour. If they're sweet, it doesn't work.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that tracks. Yes, this seemed fine to me. It just seems like if you only have 4 dishes, to me that strikes me as a strange one to make the cut.
Yeah, I agree.
Steak and lobster canapes.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what my mom served back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then speaking of which, smoked salmon canapes. Like, okay, sure.
Really boring. I mean, I think it's like to a certain extent you have like I understand catering an event for people, you might be going a little more classic, a little more streamlined. You might not be taking as many risks as some other challenges. Yeah. But I'm like, a smoked salmon canapé is like the most boring thing I can think of.
I think you and Katsuji hit it on the head earlier, just like you're in the middle of Hollywood. Like there's totally places where you got to be concerned. Like, what are these people's palates? Are they not going to like a beef tenderloin? Are they gonna want like these?
No, this is the time of your life that you have to take a risk and be outgoing. It's Top Chef. You're not gonna go to like. Imagine if you go to that event and you like smoked salmon canapé. Wow, not very Top Chef. Literally, that's what I would say. Not very Top Chef.
Yeah.
When I was on Top Chef, I decided to serve tongue and intestines. You know, maybe that it was a little too much out there, but I was like, hey, you know, Colicchio, he's like, what would you think that serving tongue and intestines was a good idea? I said, chef, it's Top Chef. We expect to serve the most outrageous and amazing food. But, you know, like I said, it's season 2. They were not, everybody was still learning. Everybody was still like learning how to play the game.
I think people weren't playing to win. They were playing to stay in for a lot of the season.
Yeah. I'm actually wondering, Katsuji, do you have anything that you made during your time on Top Chef that still like haunts you to this day? That you're like, I messed this up, or like,
wait, can I guess?
Okay, Reika thinks she knows.
Is it the pig head with the glands?
No, that's not that one actually. It's my first episode on Top Chef Boston. They gave us 3 hours to cook for 300 people. My dish, it was chipotle cheese fondue with shrimp in a taco. Mm-hmm. But I finished my prep dish in 45 minutes, and then I had 2 hours without doing anything. So I was like, wow, there's something wrong. So then I started adding more ingredients, and I put couscous, and then I made a salsa, and then I made a guacamole. And then I kept putting and adding more because I have so much time on like me doing anything. The dish itself was literally a quesadilla of shrimp, but it was so simple that I got so nervous. And then that's when everybody's like, well, you put like 17 ingredients on your food. I was like, well, not really. I just got nervous. So even till today, I'll go to places and be like, oh yeah, you're the guy with like 17 ingredients. I was like, yeah, I guess I'm that guy.
You're known for way more than that.
Yeah. But in Mexico, it's very normal to cook with so many ingredients because we're a culture that you have to mole. Mole is made with like 30, 40 ingredients, but you need to find the balance.
That's actually a great point because on many seasons of Top Chef, there'll be a challenge where you like roll a dice and it's like you can only cook with 4 ingredients or something, or you have to cook with 12 ingredients, and the chefs will be like 12 ingredients. And I'm from an Indian family. I'm like, I'm using 12 ingredients before I put the onions in.
Exactly.
Very easy to do that.
Because it's like, what are you going to do with 3 ingredients, 4 ingredients? They seem so happy with that, but I'm like, okay, you're going to sear a piece of fish or sear a piece of beef, and then you're going to make a sauce to put on it. It's just like so boring. And I don't understand. Yes, knocking complexity seems stupid to me.
Yes. Cool. Great. Glad we finally decided that.
Thank God.
The winner of this challenge is Sam for his leadership, which was one of the 4 factors they were apparently being judged on that we never heard about again. And then on the bottom was Elia's team for their lack of teamwork, for making so few dishes and none of the dishes being really big standouts. And we don't know who was going to be eliminated, but Mia eliminated herself. And Katsuji, you had a lot of thoughts about this.
You never eliminated yourself. What's the point? You think they're gonna judge you because you were on TV and you did something wrong? Oh, I don't want to go back home and people make fun of me because I'm a caterer. You're on Top Chef. It's a one. I don't think people at that time understood the power of TV. The other thing, those people were the second season. It did not. They did probably two castings and they were on the show. People like me that was 11 castings, I would be like, no way I'm going home. I pretty much like pawned my life and my self-esteem and my self-respect to be in the show. I'm not going home. I'm not sending I don't care if I have immunity and I serve microwave waffles. I'm not going home.
I do think that the stakes were a little lower. Like the reputation of the show didn't really exist yet. Reality cooking shows didn't exist yet. Social media wasn't a thing, so it wasn't like someone would catch you on Top Chef and then follow you immediately.
Yes, I also think that I wonder, now I think thousands of people apply to be on Top Chef. I wonder for season 1 and season 2, how many people they really saw to potentially be on the show.
500.
For season 2?
For season 1, it was 500 because I did the casting for season 1 and I did the casting for season 2. Season 2, I think they did over like 2,000 or 3,000 people.
Wow. Okay, so still a lot.
Wow.
It's still a lot.
Choices, I would say.
Yeah.
So much. I mean, 500 for season 1 is so wild. Season 1 had a lot of people who had never worked in a restaurant before.
Yeah, at that time they didn't know. Like they put a sommelier, they put a home cook, a caterer, a chef. Yeah, it was like the WWF, the beginning. It was like karate against jiu-jitsu against like heavyweights. Like no one knew. But then like you watch the last seasons, everybody has either a Michelin star, own a restaurant, James Beard Award. The level of competition is so much harder. Harder.
Absolutely.
Totally. Yeah, so Mia ends up going home. I was bummed for her. I felt like she seems cool, and like it does seem like a thing where like there's a lot of stuff about being a woman in a kitchen, and that we probably don't see in the edit. And so I did feel bad that she kind of, even though she did it to herself. Yeah, so this was that episode.
Yeah, I think it's also, I felt like that whole kind of bottom team, well, I guess not the whole team, but like Mikey had been kind of hanging around. Ellie has been on the chopping block a few times. I felt like it was a lot of people who I was like, oh, you kind of keep landing in the bottom.
Mikey's been
There's nothing worse in life. Well, actually, no, there's a lot of things worse in life, but there's nothing worse in Top Chef life than doing a team challenge. We hate the team challenges. There's nothing worse than doing a team challenge because everybody has a big ego. Unless you put your foot down or you turn into an asshole, you're not going to get your way across. If you're nice, she can't be nice. These people will eat you alive. And that's what happened to her.
Yeah. Speaking, is the worst team challenge Restaurant Wars, or are there challenges that are even worse?
Oh, no. Restaurant Wars by far. Restaurant by far takes that's like the most nerve-wracking competition. It's the most nerve-wracking because you're dealing with all these egos. That's the worst.
Yes.
And again, it's a competition, so someone's going home. So you have to play your cards in a smart way.
Sure. I mean, you, I believe, even did that in your Top Chef. What was it, Charleston?
Charleston. I play my cards the wrong way. I was trying to sabotage John Tizar, and then it backfired on me. It backfired.
Oh, God.
I mean, it is a game when it comes down to it, Yeah.
And then they brought me back to be his partner on the finale. He went, he got sent home by me, but I did help him to win, not to lose.
Oh, of course. I think everybody in the finale, I've never seen someone operate poorly, even if they've been eliminated, like when they're helping someone. Because it feels like it's your reputation on the line there of like.
Yes. And for me, that's, if this girl, she sends herself home, or Jamie sends himself home, that doesn't tell me anything. But if you get kicked out and then you go back and you're supposed to help to be the sous chef, that's where your integrity is. You should be like, that's the most important of me. I said to John, I said, I'm here to help you, and if you can win, I hate you, but I still want to help you. I still want to make sure. Yeah. And the other thing, once you get kicked out of Top Chef, there's a feeling of, now I can let go, because you're so stressed all the time. So when you get kicked out and then they bring you back, you're actually cooking for fun. You're actually doing it in such a good humor. You're just there to be part of the experience. So you're cooking, your food tastes much better because there's not that pressure. And we all, everybody goes, except the winner, everybody goes through this like stress level that once you get kicked out, it's like, it's out of my power. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
It's over, you're more relaxed.
That totally makes sense. Now, am I allowed to ask, are you and John really enemies in real life?
No.
Okay, I have to know.
I was with him 2 weeks ago in Dallas doing Chefs for Farmers. No. It was the heat of the moment. It was, the heat of the moment. John Caesar has something that I don't have, and that's experience. He's almost 70 years old. I'm 29. The experience that I get from him, it's amazing. He's a good friend. I always share with him my business plans. No, the guy is where he is because he's a smart person and he's a really good loyal friend. But he has an ego. He has an ego, just like I do. So we're not gonna, you don't let your guard down. And that's another thing. It's like people, I have friends on Top Chef that are like, oh, I don't want to be confrontational. I don't want to say anything. I was like, if you don't say anything, we will eat you alive. And we did.
Yeah.
Wow. You very much sound like my immigrant parents telling me
Yeah.
I can't put up with shit. They're always like, Reka, if you go to India, they'll eat you alive. You're too much.
You're too nice. One of those examples is Annie Petrie from Top Chef Charleston.
Yes.
Annie Petrie, it's one of the most amazing chefs that I know. You see her cooking, you taste her food, and it's just beautiful. It just makes you want to cry because it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
But she's not confrontational. So the moment she needed to be confrontational, she's like, no, I'm okay. Boom, she gets sent home.
Wow, sad to hear, but also nice to hear.
It is nice to hear.
I got good energy from her, so I'm glad to know her food is that good too.
Yeah, she went on episode 2, which was a bummer.
Yeah, we didn't get to know her.
Yeah, but it's all matter of luck and not knowing how to play the game. The guy who went on first episode, Gerald, that guy's he's a monster. And now he works for John Caesar. He's a monster cooking. He's, you have to know how to play the TV, by the way. You think I wear bow ties every day of my life? No. But on TV, oh yeah, I'm gonna look nice. I'm gonna look sharp.
Oh,
okay. That's a real behind the scenes secret.
Someone in the chat said Katsuji is the realest former contestant that they've seen on our show. They're praising you for keeping it real, Katsuji.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. Well, is there, I would be remiss to say, is there like a piece of like Top Chef behind the scenes that like nobody knows about that's like that you're allowed to say? Like it's just fun facts for us nerds.
The food they feed us is disgusting.
I have heard that.
Everybody loses weight. Everybody loses weight. Everybody eats gummy bears and fruit snacks.
What is it? That's like film set food. It's like craft services.
It's craft services, but like I think their budget it's like $3.50 per person, $3.50 per person. And by the way, let me remind you, we're in the middle of nowhere in South Carolina, so $3.50 per person. It's actually quite. You can make something out of it. Oh no, it was so bad. So the only thing we actually ate it was either the mixed green salad with a bunch of dressing, and then we will wait to get home and then cook for us.
Wow, so you gotta cook for yourselves on Top Chef.
Well, but you know what the funny thing? Whoever likes to cook, those are the people that actually make it farther, because those are the people that actually cooking, it's not their passion, it's their hobby. In my case, cooking, it's not my passion. It's my hobby.
Mm.
An example is like when you're tired, you do your hobbies. You invest money in your hobbies. You try and you fail and you become better, but you try and then you do it when you're sad, when you're tired, you do it when you have people over. So the real chefs are the ones that have cooking as a hobby, not as a passion.
Mm.
Wow, I love that.
I really love that. They say that about writing actually too. Like if you're a writer, it's because you write even when you're sad. Like that's how you blow off steam,
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. I love that. Well, guys, again, Jordan's Venmo handle is open for donations to the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank. Again, let's try to get up to $75. Let's get that matched by the LA Regional Food Bank to get 600 meals out for people for the holidays.
600.
That's like 600 Top Chef meals, $3.50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
graham crackers. And Katsuji, one more thing. You are top chef.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
You are.
I'm part of the Top Chef family, and
Yes, I am Padma Lakshmi.
yeah.
Yeah, if you do the show, you are top chef, and I'm sure Bravo will send us a cease and desist at some point, but that has not happened yet. So we will keep saying it until Tom comes to my house and tells me to stop.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing the show. We always love getting contestants on. This was a total blast. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. It was really fun. I hope we accomplished something, and please keep bringing more top chefs. There's a lot of characters, and there's guys that are more fun than me, and there's guys that are really boring too.
We'll tell them all about the show.
Literally, we love
them.
We've had Sarah Bradley, we've had Harold Dieterle, we had Chris Scott. We love the Top Chef family, so we will have chef testants on for days.
We'll have anyone that'll have us.
Absolutely. I'll tell Sylvia to reach out to you guys. She's amazing.
We would love
her.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you so much.
guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next week.